everyone, welcome to Park Yoga. My name is Caroline. I am from Park Yoga in Poole. What can I say? Here we are, the last session of the season, which is just unbelievable. Thank you so much to you all for supporting us over the past few months. It really has been just amazing. We've grown our community so much. I think we've been able to reach so many more people through our virtual sessions. It's been something that the charity wasn't really looking at doing before, but as we've kind of been forced into it in a way, it's actually been a really wonderful thing. We're so happy that Park Yoga has managed to reach so many more people. And if you've been checking out our social media channels and things, you'll see some of the results coming up, some of the quotes that you've given us, some of the information about how Park Yoga's made you feel and how it's kind of brought a little bit of happiness to your lives. So thank you so much for that. So to our final session. So before we start, I have to tell you that although Park Yoga is for everybody, there are a few kind of exceptions to that. So if you've been told by a medical professional that you shouldn't exercise, then please don't take part in our online sessions. Also, if you are pregnant, again, please just double check with your medical professional to make sure that you are okay to take part in the physical side of yoga. So yeah, thank you very much. We are going to get started. So we are going to come into child's pose to start today. So for our final session, we're going to have a little bit more of a restorative feel. We're going to kind of wind down the season with a slow, stretchy session. So come onto all fours and then come down to child's pose. So bring your toes together, take your knees apart, walk your hands forwards and just relax down. Feeling ourselves arrive at this kind of moment in time where we can really embrace this practice. So let the hips sink back, let the hands reach forwards. Let yourself just feel a little bit calmer. Everything slows down as we move our body and our mind into this kind of new space to practice yoga. So we're going to turn the palms and bring them together if you can. Still sinking down into the mat. And then bend the elbows, bring the thumbs up and over the top. So the thumbs are almost kind of touching your upper back. So take some nice deep breaths here. If you want more of a stretch, walk your elbows forwards a little bit and just let the chest drop down towards the mat a little bit more. Unfold the arms, reach them out in front of you again, and we're going to walk them over to the right hand side. So keep your chest down, stay in child's pose, but walk the hands over to the right. And if you want to kind of carry on the left hand and bring it on top of the right hand to give you an extra stretch here, you can do that. Good. Okay, let's walk the hands over to the other side. So again, staying in your side stretch. This time, if you want to, you can take your right hand down on top of the left hand and feel that stretch. Good. Okay, wonderful. Come back to the centre, and then we're going to come up onto all fours. So knees under our hips, hands under our shoulders, we come to that tabletop pose. Okay, so we're going to think about coming through cow and cat. So we inhale, we arch our back, lift our tailbone and lift our chin. And then we exhale and we round everything up, cat stretch. So just go with your breath. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. Good. Just in your own time with your own breath. One more go. Wonderful. So just feel how that spine is feeling today. Okay, back to the center. We're going to extend the right leg. So take the right leg out behind you. Toes on the floor, and see if you can get all of the toes on the floor. So even that little toe, press the heel away behind you. And it's like you're having a little calf stretch, okay? So keep the spine long. Try not to drop your shoulders down into your ears or your ears down into your shoulders. Just exhale and see if you can lengthen the back of that leg by pressing the heel away. Just feel that length happening on the back of the leg. So then we're going to lift up the leg and take it over and across. Okay, so the right leg is going towards the left. Try and bring your hips in line so you feel a stretch on the outside of the right hip. And then turn your head towards that crossed over foot and feel the stretch down the right hand side of the body. Wonderful. Okay, bring the toe over and bring it back in line, back to tabletop. And we'll go for the left leg. So extend the leg behind you into that kind of calf stretch. Start to press the heel away. So keep the hips in line, and as you exhale, just see if you can lengthen that back leg. You might find a little bit more length. Good, and then lift up, take it across, but get your hips in line. So we don't want to do this and lift back that hip. We want to stay in line so we feel a stretch down the outside edge. And then turn your head to look across to the foot. Feel that stretch all the way down the outside of the body. Good, okay. Bring the leg back and put the knee down. So we're going to walk the hands forwards and come to puppy dog pose. So take the hands out in front of you. Keep the hips above the knees and just sink the chest down towards the mat. So you'll feel your shoulders start to open. Bring the rib cage down lower towards the mat. Open out through the shoulders and just sink yourself down. And take a few deep breaths. And then in your breathing, see if you have a little space to go a little bit further. So kind of bringing the chin down towards the mat. Okay, up we come. So we're going to come back to tabletop. Nice deep breaths. I'm going to extend the left leg. And we're going to open out, left arm up, right knee is underneath you. Push your hips forward and let the right toes, the right lower leg kind of move around behind you a little bit to a kind of gentle side plank. So the shoulder is above the wrist and the fingertips are reaching up to the sky. And then we're just going to bring the arm over and just take some circles, maybe 2 or 3. Good, and then the other way. So change the way that you're going. And open out through the shoulder. Lovely. Okay, back we come, back to tabletop. Reset your knees under your hips, reset your wrists under your shoulders, extend the right leg, and we're going to open out on the other side. So fingertips going right the way up to the sky, push the hips forward so everything is in line. Keep breathing and then take a few little circles. Making the circle as big as you can. 2 or 3 in each direction. Open out across the chest. Good. Okay, wonderful. Come back onto tabletop, onto all fours. Come down onto the mat, onto your belly. Reach the legs out behind you. Reach the hands out in front of you. Place your head on the mat. And first of all, just have a little stretch. So fingertips reaching forwards and toes reaching backwards. And then we're going to think about the opposite. So right arm, left leg, little stretch. Good. And release. And then left arm and right leg. Stretch from fingertips to toes. Good. Okay, one more time. Lift a little bit higher this time if you can. Just keep breathing, but keep lengthening. So the fingertips reaching away, the toes reaching away. Good. And then finally, the other side, the left hand, the right leg. Lots of length down the back of the body. Good. Okay. Release. We're going to walk the hands in a little bit. Bring the elbows underneath the shoulders. Press the palms down on the mat and come to Sphinx pose. So draw the shoulders back. Let chin lift. The rib cage is lifting and moving forwards. The fronts of the feet, the fronts of the ankles are still on the mat. The hips are pressing down into the mat. But we're kind of in a place where we can breathe normally, breathe deeply. And almost soften into the pose. So feel like the upper body is soft because the shoulders are drawn away from the ears and we have space. And breathe nice and deeply. Good. Okay. Release and come back down to the mat. Bring the hands down by the sides. Let your head rest on the mat. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, lift the legs, lift the chest and shoulders, and lift the hands. So look forward if you can. Try and keep the legs straight, so it's tempting, isn't it, to do this, just to lift the lower legs. We're going to keep the legs straight and try and lift into the thighs as well. Good. And release. Wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to bring our hands under our shoulders again and come back onto all fours. Okay, so reset yourself into that tabletop pose again. You're going to extend the right leg and lift it this time. We're also, if you want to, going to extend the opposite arm. So it's a nice straight line. We haven't lifted our hip because we've kept our hip in line. We're pushing our foot away at the back and reaching our fingertips forwards. And then you're going to bring in the elbow to the knee and keep breathing. Okay? See how that feels. And then release. So as you exhale, bring the elbow into the knee. And as you inhale, reach everything out and away. One more. Exhale, bring the knee and the elbow close together. And then inhale as we reach out. Good. Okay, so another option if you want to is to bend the knee, reach round to take the foot into the hand, press the foot into the hand. You'll feel your shoulder moving back, see if you can move it forward so you're still facing the front as you lift up into that stretch. And if it doesn't feel right, if it's not for you, that's no problem at all. Okay, and release. Perfect. So reset your tabletop, extend the left leg and lift it up, and then maybe you want the right hand as well. So it's an option. If you're happy with just the leg and that is giving you enough kind of those feelings, those kind of strength feelings, stick with just the leg. Get yourself into that position. Exhale, bring your elbow to your knee. Inhale, reach out. Again, exhale, bring your elbow to your knee. And inhale, reach out. So nice and slow and steady. So we're going to do one more. Exhale, bring your elbow to your knee. And then inhale and extend. And then you have the option to bend the knee behind you, reach round, make contact, press the foot into the hand and lift. And again, just watch that right shoulder. You don't want it pulling back too much, you want to keep it around in line so you're facing front. Okay, release. Come back to all fours. Take a breath in, and as you inhale, arch your back to cow pose. Really make this as long as you can, so make the breath as long as you can. And then exhale to cat pose. And have that stretch, okay? So, a little bit of a change. from here, you're just going to walk the hands forward a little bit. You're going to think about lifting or bringing the right knee and the right foot forwards. So step the right foot forwards around the outside of your hands, and you have lizard pose. So just by doing that, obviously that can be quite intense across the hips. The kind of further back the knee is, the more you're going to feel it. So maybe if it's too intense, bring the knee in a little bit. But if you're good, you might even want to slide the knee back a bit. Okay, place the hands flat on the floor. And again, if you feel like we've hunched up like this, let's see if we can just lift up out of our hands, out of our arms, and relax our shoulders. And if you would like a little bit more, see if you can come down onto your forearms, okay? So that's really going to increase the stretch for you. And for me as well. So you've got some nice deep breaths here as we breathe through this kind of intense stretch through the hips, maybe the inner thigh. But again, try not to hunch up through your back. See if you can keep the spine as flat as possible. Good, and then come up. Excellent, okay. Bring your weight back and bring the knee back, and then switch legs. So you're going to think about bringing the left one through. And again, just adjust yourself, whatever feels better for you. But the hands are going to be inside the feet or the foot. And it's a good one, this one, isn't it? You can't you can't fail to feel something somewhere. But we're going to take some deep breaths here, because it is intense and it is a position, a movement that we don't normally do in everyday life. So we're just going to kind of be gentle with our bodies in this pose. And don't forget then, you can come down onto your forearms if you want to. But again, once you're there, if you'll feel the stretch, but try and be still with it. Try not to fidget too much. Let the stretch happen. And as you breathe, you're going to feel it subside at least a little bit, okay? Excellent, let's come up. Okay, bring the knee back. So we're going to come down onto our front again. And then this time, you're going to stretch out your right hand out to the side, palm down, although that's not too much of a problem. So your head is down on your mat. And I'm going to stick the left hand underneath the left shoulder. And you're just going to press gently on your left hand while you push your right shoulder into the mat a little bit. And it kind of makes you roll. So, lots of options here. As soon as you feel that stretch, just stop and enjoy it. But your right arm is sticking right out behind you. And you can even come to rolling on your side. If you're feeling flexible and you want to go a bit further, just bend the top leg, so the left leg. Put it down onto the floor. You can keep going. If you're feeling really flexible, you can take this hand, reach it round, see if you can take hold of the other one behind you. and it'll be a lot higher than you think. Okay, so we might be reaching quite low, we're looking for going a little bit higher. Okay, so if you can touch the fingertips or clasp them together, go for it. Give that big stretch across the chest and especially into this shoulder. And just enjoy. You can relax the head or you can keep it lifted, but we can feel a big opening happening across the chest and into the shoulders. Good. Okay, release. Release your hands. Come back down onto your mat. Hands under your shoulders. Then we're going to stretch out the other hand. So the left hand comes out. Push the right hand, or pop the right hand under your right shoulder. And do it the other way. So the left shoulder comes down onto the mat. And we turn ourselves around. Okay, so you have a big stretch. If you want to carry on and steady yourself with the foot, you can. And then finally, if you want to take that arm back, find the fingers, or clasp your hands. And have that huge stretch. So it's a good one, this one. Take some breaths. Relax your head. Good. And then release the hands and come back. Wonderful. Okay, so come up to tabletop. We're going to just again take a breath in into cow pose. So we should feel our spine starting to get a little bit more stretchy. And take a breath out, come to cat pose. And then release. We're going to sit onto our heels and bring our legs around to the front. Okay, so we're going to take a breath in. Sit up nice and tall. So it's that nice straight back that we're looking for. Reach up, and then as you exhale, relax forwards over the legs to our seated forward fold. And we're bringing our ribcage down closer to our thighs, rather than our head down, you know, how everybody tries to get their head down to their knees. So we're not looking for that at all. We're looking to kind of sandwich everything together. So if you've been to my sessions, you probably heard me say that 1,000 times before. But it's a really good kind of analogy. You're first of all bringing down your rib cage towards the thighs, okay? And that's the first part. And then everything else sort of happens from there. And it means we've still got space and length. And then we're really trying not to do this, which is kind of crunch ourselves up, which is not the purpose of this practice. So you can feel more than enough of a stretch there. And we're going to go again, so we're going to inhale, reach up, and exhale, fold forwards. Good. Okay, come up. You're going to bend the right knee. Bring the right inside, the right foot to the left inside of the thigh. Let the knee drop out. And again, we're going to sit up really, really tall. And then the same thing, we're going to inhale and exhale and reach forwards. So we're trying to keep this leg as straight as possible, pressing down to the ground. And again, getting that length of the cage is coming down towards the leg. Good, and then we're going to come up, take the left arm out to the side, and then bring it across to where the right thigh is. Bring the right shoulder round to the back behind you and take a lovely twist, but again sitting up nice and tall. Okay, come back to the front, bring your right foot flat onto the mat so the right knee is facing up. And we're going to bring the right arm round, turn the body to the left. So we're sitting up really tall, we're still sitting on our sitting bones. And our chest is open, our shoulders are open. So we're pressing this right foot down into the floor to help us stabilise. It's been half an hour, that's the first flying thing that's flown into me for this session, so I'll take that. And then we're going to turn our chin as well, look behind us. And then if you really would like a little extra challenge, is your right arm is in front of your right leg or to the inside of your thigh. See if you can wrap the hand behind that bent leg. And then this arm is going to come behind your back, and you're going to see if you can clasp or touch the fingertips together. But while still sitting up nice and tall, still bringing that shoulder round and still opening the chest. So a little bind. How's that? If you can't find your fingers behind your back, it's not a problem. I can barely find mine, so you'll see that in a minute. Okay, good. Release. Come back in and extend that leg back out. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So the left leg, bend your knee, drop it out to the side, left foot to the right inner thigh. Sit up nice and tall, lift up and reach forwards. Let's have the stretch. And you just feel that stretch maybe in a different part of the lower back. Nice deep breaths. Good, okay, so come up. I don't want to talk too much through this session, and it's just sometimes nice, isn't it, to just breathe and enjoy a little bit of peaceful silence. So we're going to bring the arm across, bring the right arm across to the left thigh. Take the left shoulder back, sit up tall because we've got that, we're sitting up tall in our sitting bones, and we can rotate through the spine. and then we're going to go the other way. So come back to facing your foot, put the left foot onto the mat, left knee facing the ceiling, and we're going to go the other way. So bring the left arm over the top, take the right arm behind you, keep the knee in as close as possible to the body, right shoulder back, and turn your head so you're looking over your right shoulder. Good. And then again, like we did before, if you want to take this left arm around the back and then bring the other arm all the way around to find your fingers, maybe make a bind here, but try and sit up nice and tall while you're doing that. Good. Okay, so unfold the fingers. And come back to the front. Extend the legs. Sit up tall in that L-shaped sit. Reach up and reach forwards. And take a few breaths, so just relax. Relax, relax over the legs. Good. Okay, come up. So I'm going to come to face you. You can stay where you are on your mats. We're going to take cow face pose. So we're going to sit onto our sit bones. We're going to bring the right leg underneath, but only underneath as far as you can still sit on both of your sit bones. Okay. We're going to take the left leg over the top. We flex at the ankles so that so that we're not pointing the toes, and we sit up nice and tall. And so the whole kind of point of cow face pose is that the knees are stacked directly on top of each other. That is entirely down to your own flexibility. You can see mine are not directly on top of each other. I'm not sure if they ever will be, but it doesn't mean that we still can't do this pose safely. Okay, if you can't cross the leg over without it causing, either to lift your sit bones or for it being too intense, let's just take it so that your foot is at the front. Okay, and then maybe over time we can gently kind of move into a cross once we've worked our flexibility. The most important thing is that we can sit up really tall and we have a nice straight back. Okay, take your hands out to the side, and again it's about the rib cage moving forwards. So don't put your chin to your chest, keep that space there as you just move forwards to deepen that stretch. And then you'll feel it kind of both outer thighs, probably maybe into your hips. But do try and cross over as much as you can so that you can feel something. And just take a few breaths here. Just notice how it feels. Okay, good. Come up, leave your legs where they are. Bring your hand up, your right hand into kind of a tricep stretch if you like, and come over to the side. So you're getting a stretch all the way down the side of the body. Good, okay. Come up and release and untangle the legs. And then we're going to do it the opposite way. So bring the left leg underneath. Get your sit bones down onto the mat. Cross your right leg over. Think about stacking the knees. So think about how it feels on this side compared to the other side. This is not my good side, obviously. But sit up nice and tall. Bring the feet flexed so that you're not pointing them, so that you've got some protection there, and see how that feels. Take your hands out to the side and just bring your ribcage forward. And it might not be a lot. I mean, look how much I'm moving, not much at all. Okay, but you'll feel it. You can feel it without doing a huge movement, okay? So just let your gaze go kind of somewhere front and down, but don't put your chin down to your chest. So just look out and down a little bit and just take some deep breaths. Just kind of be aware of how it feels. Be aware of where you feel the stretch. But don't fight it. Don't worry about having to fidget around or move on out of it. Just sort of accept it. So big deep breaths. Good, okay. Slowly up we come, leave the legs where they are. Bring the left arm up and over. Take hold and take a side bend. So keep the chest lifted. Just get all of that stretch before you come back up and open out and unfold the legs. Bring the soles of the feet together. Drop the knees out to the side. Sit up really lovely and tall, and again let's bring that rib cage forward, so leaving ourselves lots of space in the upper body without doing this to the shoulders. We do that enough, don't we, in everyday life? Let's just bring the rib cage forwards. And have a little stretch. Then we're going to come up. We're going to come onto our back, okay, our final little sequence. So come down onto your back. You're going to bend your knees so that your feet are flat onto the floor. And then you're going to take your right leg, pick it up, bring it across the left thigh. Let the right knee drop out to the side. And then you're going to lift the left up. So you've got a stretch here. You can even reach round, take hold at the back of the left thigh if you want to. And if you really want more stretch, you can even reach through, take hold at the front of the left shin. Okay, we want to be able to kind of relax our back onto the floor, and we're drawing those legs closer to the body. So an outer thigh and a glute stretch on the right side. So relax the shoulders back. Take an inhale. And then an exhale. And another inhale. And an exhale. And then a final inhale here. And breathe out. Good. Excellent. So just going to release the hands. We're going to cross the legs over, like you're just crossing your legs. Draw them into the body quite close. Keep your shoulder blades on the floor and drop over to the left hand side. So the right leg is on the top and then you're dropping over to the left hand side.
and just have a little stretch. Now you might not get your legs all the way down onto the floor. Both the shoulder blades should be on the mat. Just go as far as you can, use your hand to support the legs and feel that twist, that stretch in the lower back. So very much a lower back focused restorative type session today. Okay. Unfold everything, bring your knees back up. Come back into the centre, pop them back onto the mat. And then take your left leg, cross it over your right. Give yourself a little bit of time to just let the left knee drop out to the side. Pick up the right foot, lift it up. And everything's going to move towards the body. Take hold wherever you want to take hold. Relax back onto the mat. Draw everything in towards your body and just let that stretch happen on the left outer thigh. Start your long breath. So a nice long inhale. A nice long exhale. And then a few more times, a few more deep breaths. You just stay nice and calm, but just embrace the stretch. Okay, so release. Cross that left leg over the top. And then bring your knees back in. Keeping your shoulder blades on the mat. Let's take the knees across to the side. So the left leg's on top, we're going across to the right hand side, and we're keeping this shoulder blade on the mat. We're just trying to relax the legs as much as possible for that stretch to happen. Deep breaths and just enjoy that twist, that rotation in the spine. Good. Okay, let's unfold. Unfold, unfold, unfold. Hug the knees into the chest. Rock the knees from side to side. Round in a circle. Both directions. Good. And then bring your feet back down onto the mat. And so we're going to make ourselves comfortable for our final relaxation. We're going to extend the legs, so we're lying flat on our back. And just bring anything that you need to get comfortable, okay? So lie onto your back, hands outside, hands out to the sides with your palms up. Anywhere where you can be totally relaxed. We're going to take a few kind of cleansing breaths. So we're going to breathe in through the nose and sigh out through the mouth.
Again, in through the nose. And a little bit more. Big sigh. One more time, deep breath in. Blow the air out through the mouth. Good. Okay, so make sure you're lying back comfortably. Make sure that you have your eyes closed. And I'm just gonna read to you something that I kind of put down. Something for us to finish the park yoga season. Of course, the park yoga season is drawing to a close. Here we are in the final session. But every season of the year, every season of our hearts has its own perfect time and its own kind of important and different purpose. So you have those that bring joy, those that bring growth, those that bring stillness, those that bring sadness, those that shake us, those that blow us around like the harsh winds, those seasons that make the ground unstable, maybe like the rains. But the ground needs to be unstable to make room for growth. So we remember there's no spring without winter. There's no joy, there's no happiness without sadness. It's all part of life, kind of beautiful, complicated journey, isn't it? So much as the park yoga season is closed, is drawing to a close, we're going to be able to take that time to be still, to kind of ground ourselves over the winter, to grow and to be ready for the next season of park yoga. Each season, like each emotion, has its purpose. Just like the inhale, just like the exhale. There's no inhale without exhale. There's no exhale without inhale. But we know that each one will follow the other, over and over. And with that thought, we're going to bend our knees and put our feet flat onto the mat. Feel the ground beneath your feet again. And then you're going to drop them over to the side, to the right hand side if you can. Turn onto your side. And sit yourself up. And when you're up, sit up nice and tall and just take a final breath in. Bring your palms together, and as you exhale, bring them down towards your heart. Just take a little moment to quietly look towards your hands. Be aware of the connection between your palms and your fingertips, and the new energy that we created by moving and breathing today. And then release the hands, bring them out to your thighs, sit up nice and tall. and exhale. Good, excellent. I'm going to give you a clap, a little clap. Well done, everybody. I'm going to get emotional now. So the final session of the season 2020. Nobody could have predicted what this season was going to bring for us. We've gone through the whole roller coaster. We thought we were going to be completely cancelled. We thought we were not going to bring any yoga to anybody this year, and then we've obviously moved towards our virtual classes. And like I said, we honestly could never have known how many of you would be tuning into our classes each week. All of the instructors have had a kind of, again, in a bit of a roller coaster, ups and downs, making our videos and bringing them to you each week. But I know they've been blown away as well by the amount of you who have tuned in. And what we've really loved is the fact that we can show everybody how different our instructors are, how different our styles are, how different our classes are, but we all kind of come together under one umbrella of Park Yoga. It's all yoga, it's all beneficial, but it's wonderful, isn't it, just to see how many different styles, how many different types there are. And you know, I believe, and I know that the other guys do believe the same thing, which is that there is a type of yoga for everybody. And please do go out and find your style, find your type. Over the winter, please do not stop doing yoga, and don't forget we have all our videos from the whole of the season are available to watch. So we have them on our YouTube channel, and they're available on our social media as well. So you don't have to be without yoga for the whole of the winter. So please do keep joining us, because we would love to know that you're still enjoying them and they're not just watched once and then forgotten forever. If you'd like to support us, of course, you go to our website. You go to www.parkyoga.co/donate to make a donation. And we also have our lovely new merchandise on there, which I mentioned before. So we've got some really nice t-shirts, and they are really lovely. The quality is really nice. They wash really well, and we're trying to do everything very sustainably. So you will receive your package in a lovely compostable bag. So no plastic or anything like that. We're doing our very best to be eco-friendly and sustainable. We've got some really nice yoga mats as well if you're looking for a new mat to practice over the winter, and some beautiful and different coloured water bottles too. So go and check them out. So yeah, the only thing for me to say is thank you again. We've absolutely loved making these videos for you. We cannot wait to see you in person, fingers crossed, next season, May 2021. So from me, thank you. From all of the instructors, thank you so much. And the Park Yoga team at HQ, I want to pass on their thanks as well. Keep practicing over the winter, and we will see you next year. Thank you so much.